Here are two stories that will make you rethink who you trust.
Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. It's so good to have all of you over here. I'm so happy to talk to all of you. I want to tell you all two stories. The first one I'm almost certain is true. The second one I know is true. They both refer to scams and have important lessons to help us protect ourselves. The first story is about an air conditioner on a train. The reason why I'm not 100% certain it's true, I remember someone telling me it happened to a friend of theirs in another country somewhere. So there is a possibility it's not true, but I do not see any reason why this person was lying to me. And the purpose is to learn from the story to protect ourselves. The story is this person told me about their friend who was sitting on a train. There was another man sitting opposite him, and they started making friendly conversation because they're opposite each other. By the man's feet was an air conditioner. It was very close to the side of the train as well. And while they were talking, this man gave some story about this air conditioner. He said he worked for some big company organization that sells air conditioners, and they improved on this model, that maybe some extra bits added on. Therefore, this particular model is no longer being sold because of the better one, but it's still an excellent air conditioner. And he says, in fact, he's got a lot of them because the company gave him. And so he gave a long story why he's got it and why this company has actually given him permission to sell that air conditioner on his own, or whatever the reason is. He's got permission. And he actually demonstrated the air conditioner. He showed how it works. You press this knob here to turn it up. You do that if you want to do this change. And he showed how great it was. So this is the key. He was not just demonstrating how it works. He was demonstrating that it works. That's the whole point, that it's in such good condition. And then he said to the other man, you know what? You can have it if you want at a really good price. If you give me so many, just X amount of dollars, you get an incredible air conditioner at a very reduced price. It's worth it. I mean, albeit not in the original packaging. And he gave some story why it wasn't in the box, why he was taking on the train, not in the box. But it's absolutely worth it. Look at this air conditioner. And he said the man was actually pretty impressed because he wanted an air conditioner. And the other man said, you know what, if you give me so much dollars in cash, I'm getting off at the next stop. Instead of taking the air conditioner with me, I'll just leave it behind for you. So the first man was very happy. He gave the cash, excited about this really good deal. The other man got off and left the air conditioner behind. The first man, when it's his turn to get off at his stop, now he takes the air conditioner to take with him, and he pulls, he tugs, he grabs. The air conditioner's not working, not moving at all. So he looks, and then he realizes it's attached to the train. It's connected to the train. It was hidden away that it was attached to the train. That's when he realized it belongs to the train. You see, this scam was not about a broken product. It was about who the product actually belonged to. And you see, the first man demonstrated what good condition is, because it did work and was in good condition. And the issue here is not if this is a true story or not. Maybe in life you'll be in a similar situation. It's not an air conditioner, it's not a train, it's some other equipment instead of an air conditioner, but it's the same trick. Someone demonstrating that it's such good condition. So we can use that to protect ourselves. The second story, I'm absolutely certain is true, because someone in the legal field told me and gave me all the details of an absolutely true event. This was a butcher, and his butcher shop was relatively close to the House of Parliament of his country. And one day, someone came to his butcher shop claiming to be a chef at the House of Parliament. He produced all the paperwork to show what looked like the correct paperwork. He's a chef at the House of Parliament. And he says, we do catering at the House of Parliament. There's ministers having events, all types of events, and I'm the chief chef. And he said to the butcher, seeing that you're close by and I believe you have really good products, could you supply the House of Parliament? We'll put it on the tab, we keep track, we'll pay you after a while. And it's the House of Parliament. They're not going to stiff you, and we'll be happy to get your meat. This butcher was very happy, so he put the meat together that was requested, and they did the paperwork of how much will be owed. This man claims the chef walks away with the meat, and the chef, late in time, the chef places another order, and the butcher supplies it, and this keeps repeating. And each time when this butcher asked about payment, the chef reminded him, it's the House of Parliament. There's no way the House of Parliament will stiff a person and not pay them. Anyway, somewhere along the way, this butcher thought to himself, it sounds very nice, that's the House of Parliament, but when exactly am I going to be paid? So what he does, he phoned the police for advice and told the police about this apparent chef. And the police asked him details like, what's the chef's name? Which department does he work at? Does he work with any specific members of Parliament? And a whole bunch of questions. And then the police said to him, do you know what? This does not sound right. It doesn't sound right. We have a suggestion. Next time this person claiming to be a chef places an order, let us know. We will be there this time. So sure enough, this butcher gets a phone call from this claiming to be that chef. He gave an excuse or an event, some big event happening with some member of Parliament and important ministers, and this event, and he places order for a big amount of types of meat, and the butcher takes the order, they arrange a time and date when it will be ready. The only difference is this time round, the police were there waiting for this apparent chef. So the chef arrives and the butcher hands him the meat, and the chef reminds him, don't worry, that's on the tab of the House of Parliament. And as this so apparent chef was exiting, the police came to him and politely asked him about this meat, where he's going. And he gave his story. So I'm a chef at the House of Parliament, and he's explaining exactly where the catering takes place and the ministers involved, etc. And the police decided to be nice to him. They didn't argue. Okay, they said, that's fine. That's good to know. Go right ahead. Do what you need to do. Except we're coming with you. You can show us our way into the Parliament. You can take us the catering service. We're just coming with you. That's all. And this man had to admit that this is a scam. And I presume he was arrested at that moment. But it was a nice try of him. Believe it or not, I have a third story. I know I said two stories, but I cannot resist telling you this one. And this one is arguably funny and a bit sad at the same time. And my throat was getting a little bit sore. This third story, I do agree, is not really a scam. It's more about being selfish. But the reason why I thought of the story, because it has a similarity to the second story I just told you, because it's the same concept of when police come to the person, they don't argue, they don't make a fuss, they don't stop the person, they encourage the person to carry on and do what they need to do, except we're coming with you to what you do it. That's all. As it had that in common, that's what made me think of it. I once saw a documentary on television, one of the major US cities, about the police clamping down on people parking in handicapped parking when they're not supposed to. And the police are hidden somewhere waiting to catch someone. Eventually, a young man parked in a handicap parking. He did not seem to have any related stick on his windshield about being disabled. And when he got out his car, he seemed in perfect health and perfectly mobile. So the police came to him and stopped him and said to him, "Do you know that you've just parked in a handicap parking?" And they could see he was thinking fast to come up with an explanation. And then he said, "Actually, it's not Must who's disabled, it's my granny. And my granny has trouble walking, so I'm coming here to fetch my grandmother." And I will say one thing about this young man. It's another imaginative excuse, and I certainly give him points for creativity. And so the police decided to be nice to him, not just argue and play along. And they said to him, "That's very nice of you to help and fetch your granny. And where does your granny live?" And this young man points at a building. He says, it's that building over there. So the police said, again, the police didn't argue. They said, "That's very nice of you. Please go ahead and fetch your granny. We're not stopping you, except we're coming with you. We'll accompany you to your granny." So this young man started confidently walking to the building. He thought he can shake the police off, because if he's going straight to the building, confidently going there, the police will somehow give him the benefit of the doubt and think it's true and then turn away. But the police did not turn away. The two cops kept walking with him to the building, and eventually he realized it's futile. The police were not going away, and he had to admit that he should not have parked there, and he also had to admit that his grandmother does not live in that building. Again, as I said, it's not about a scam, but I could not resist telling you, because it's the same arguably amusing concept as story number 2, where the police don't stop the person. They say, "Please go ahead, do what you have to do, except we're coming with you." So what are my final thoughts? What do the two main stories have in common? What's the right word for these people? The gall, the cheek, the audacity. How do they think of these tricks? And you see, the essence of a scam is that it looks real. That's why I'm begging everyone, please be careful and not impulsive. Even if some opportunity looks real, feels real, sounds real, the other party seems 100% genuine, maybe there are other ways to verify before engaging in a deal. It's worth waiting a bit longer than doing it immediately. That's why I'm begging everyone, please be safe out there, and thank you for listening.